Hey, what's up, everyone? It's December 5th, 2023. Keep in mind, don't let the date fool you on this video because today we're going to talk about some things that can apply at any given time of the year. Um, I think the success that revolves around buying and selling in the coin, currency, and precious metals kind of community has a lot to do with the research phase of everything, right? There are certain things all throughout the year that you can take advantage of. And yeah, I know I'm being very vague when I use the word things. You know, that's like an overused noun to describe a lot of something. But there are a fair amount of things that can be done, that release every year, that we can take advantage of. Ultimately, the goal in this video, because we are 20 days away from probably one of the biggest capitalistic type of holidays of the year, that being Christmas, we all need money, all right? And I'm one of those people too. We all work hard for a living. As much as we want to believe that regular consumer goods and toys and video games and clothes and things like that, as much as you want to think that, the prices are still as cheap as they were 10 years ago, you guys are sadly mistaken. Um, and I'm sure of you, that's a very small percentage of you because you guys are fully aware of where we're at in today's economy. We're not making nearly as much money as we were. The rate of inflation is still high, in spite of who you want to believe to think that it's not, because it is. It still is. It's still a much higher rate of inflation than it was 5 years ago, pre-pandemic. But one thing is for sure. One thing is for certain is that we are not making nearly enough money. Right, our payroll checks to a lot of people are quite abysmal, and we've seen our rents and mortgages increase. Maybe not so much a mortgage, but some people's mortgages increase because um, their tax goes up. So I don't know. Maybe I'm digging too deep here in all this, but ultimately, where we need to think about and consider, and we're using this video as kind of a platform for everyone to brainstorm. And I think whatever walk of life you guys are in, think about some of the things legitly that we could do in this hobby where we can make that extra $200-300, maybe $500, maybe more than that. I guess it really depends on what you guys need. The holidays are by no means a cheap time of the year, and it isn't. But when when the rubber meets the road, and we are kind of painted into a corner with not even 3 weeks left until Christmas, now's the time to kind of really buckle down and do things right. So I wanted to take some opportunity to talk and chat with each and every single one of you about areas where we can make money flipping coins, money, paper money, precious metals. Silver has been kind of a roller coaster. It dropped down another like 40-45 cents today, back all the way down to $24. I say it like as it's a free fall, but a couple days ago it was at $25.50, 25.50ish. So yeah, what the heck's going on here? But the premiums are all over the place. Some places are higher, some places are lower. Silver and just gold, precious metals in general, are kind of dicey to deal with right now. A lot of people probably overpaid a few days ago compared to what it's dropped down to 2 days later. Um, and that's kind of the big reason why that me personally, I've kind of like not focused on going through that. However, for those of you that are into silver and don't quite examine what you have, um, there are certain things that you can pay attention to where it can be kind of profitable. Again, it's crossing that highway from precious metals to numismatic value, and then kind of going back and forth. Sure, if you had a roll of Walking Liberty half dollars that were all in less than stellar shape, I mean, what's going to stop you from going through the rolls and say pulling out that 1936S or that 17S obverse mint mark, even though it's not in the best of shape? Do you honestly think that that coin is just worth $9 or $10 or whatever the silver mount value, spot value of it is? No, they actually have more value numismatically. Um, that's just kind of like one example how me, as a retailer of these things, this is kind of like where I make my extra money, is recognizing that. But 20 days before Christmas, I would say is kind of like it's on the cusp of it being too short. It's too close of a call to be able to make the extra money in that way, because the areas in which you could sell these things. What are your alternatives? You could sell at private party by selling them on like Facebook Marketplace or some other website. My boy Craig, he's got this list. You know what I mean? eBay is another one, but you gotta consider: do I put it up as a buy it now listing, or should I do a 3-day, a 5-day auction, things like that? And you gotta consider that the amount of time that you list your items in is going to eat in to the amount of time available between now and Christmas to where you can make this extra money, which means that there's really no time to consider the options other than what you're seeing in this video. You have to make those moves immediately. And that includes putting up these listings that you can make more money than what you invested into it. So, I do things like that, but I've planned that well in advance, all the way until about the beginning of November. If I had said, well, I'm going to be giving money to both of my girls, and that's going to look like X amount of dollars. It's not a little bit amount of money. It's going to be a few $100s a piece, if not more. But at the same time, we're still buying them presents, my youngest daughter is looking to save for a computer, and there's that's a lot of money to invest in. So there's a lot of things I have to consider. What's acceptable? What's my minimum kind of like level that I need to make between now and Christmas? And there's a lot of pre-planning that goes into it, a lot of budgeting. All right, we all hate the word budgeting. We just want to collect our paycheck and use it. Pay the bills and then have fun with it. And do for those of you that are single, you guys have it easy, because back when I was single, and I had decent paychecks. It was all about me. It was all about fun at that point, and it is what it is. But for the families out there, you have to. There's more planning and more budgeting that goes into it. So, long rant over. Let's go ahead and talk about a few ways that you can make some extra money, however that much that looks like, however much time you dedicate to it, and things like that. So you hear me talk a lot about like e-commerce platforms, right? You have social media. There are people that sell on TikTok. They do live videos. Our good old boy Eric Miller, the Coin Channel Tube. He's collaborated with Coins TV to sell product, and he gets a kickback. I mean, that's kind of like the most extreme best case scenario, because he's built a platform. So he's risen meteorically in such a short period of time that he has a customer base that's willing, and able to to do what's necessary to bring home the bacon. Now that's the most extreme aspect of it, but here kind of like, the normal people. I guess I'm normal people. I'm a content creator. Yes, I make a little bit of money off of this platform. But I'm not as big and deep as, like the Eric Millers of the world. Couch Collectibles does extremely well, sells on Whatnot, has many different social medias, to over 200 million video views total. I think I don't know if I'm close to that, but I'm up there. But he also leverages things like merchandise and, you know, uh, again, he's all the way into the hobby and to the business aspect of it. But for the regular folks like you and I, okay, probably if I had to scrimp and scrape that extra money, you know what I would do? I would go to the bank and I would buy everything but the kitchen sink. Or better yet, give me the kitchen sink. I will buy brand new BU rolls of coin. I'll flip those and sell them sealed on eBay. Sure, give me some straps of dollar bills. Give me as many as you got. I have $500 on me. Give me $500 face value in ones or twos or whatever. Look for those fancy serial numbers. Look for birthday notes, things like that. Or better yet, if you have the BEP straps that are brand new and they have that little paper strap that's on there, it says BEP on it. Sure, flip the straps as they are and double your money. You get the straps for $100 face, turn around and sell it for $199.99 on eBay, profit about $70. Continue. You know, rinse and repeat, as they say in the business. Those are, leveraging your banking system to get your way, because you're playing with house money, right? You're only invested into it at face value, because you could always take the money and put it back into the bank. But you could do it, you could repeat the cycle every single day. And I've done that with great success, and have made, if I needed to make an extra $300 to $500 in like the next 10 days, that, ladies and gentlemen, is what I would do. I would go to the bank. I would make sure I have a little bit of money to use. Don't dip into the money that you would use to buy groceries and things like that. It's going to be risky, but keep in mind that if you had to do it using your bill money and things like that, you got to keep in mind you don't want to lapse and go late on your bills to where you're paying late fees. That's going to make this not worth it. You want to make sure that even at the least, if you had an extra $100 to spend, all right, and invest into doing this venture, you could certainly do that. But also keep in mind that sometimes it might take a week, it might take 10 days to sell something online. All right, unless you're a pitching and promoting god, then you could do like a 3 or a 5 day auction and then just have your way doing it. All right. So that's probably at the very top of my list. So another thing is, if I had like scrap 90% silver, like I had prefaced before, man, go through all those. Look for any tougher dates, right? For example, if I had a bunch of Mercury dimes, okay, obviously the ones that are going to be hard to resell are the coins from like 1937, 38, all the way up to 1945. But also recognize all the coins before that, from 1916 going all the way to 1937 or whatever. Those coins can possibly sell for more, even in pretty rough shape or low ball condition shape. AG, fair condition. People are looking to put together album sets of Mercury dimes or Walking Liberty half dollars, Standing Liberty quarters. As long as they're decent, they have a full date, they're not cleaned ideally. These are coins that you could pick up, like Mercury dimes, for example. You could pick up those coins at under $2 a piece, but you could sell them for 10 to $20 a piece if, say, you come across that 1918S, right? Which we see them in scrap silver all the time, ladies and gentlemen, or that 1928D, or some of those tougher dates, right? Because there's going to be a lot of coin shops that they don't particularly care about those particular dates, because the one thing that dissuades them from saving it is really because of condition. All right. But this is where you could come in and take advantage of that low hanging fruit. So, again, exploring through your scrap 90% silver, looking for identifying these little bit marginally tougher dates, also looking for varieties and errors as well. Just the other day, I found a peace dollar with a strike through on it that I had invested originally $27 into it. I just sold it for $50. Granted, I didn't make hundreds of dollars. You're not going to get rich. But hey, the idea here is that we're trying to cobble together an extra like $200, $300, $500, whatever's necessary. But that coin, I ended up profiting like $18. That all goes in the same bucket. So that's yet again another idea. Another one that I love is that don't be afraid to go to a coin shop or a coin show. We actually have a coin show happening this weekend. Guess what I'm going to be doing? I'm going to be buying inventory for my future whatnot sales and eBay sales. I'm going to be cherry picking varieties and errors. And I'm going to be identifying and taking advantage of the fact that some of the dealers, they go to a coin show, they have to pay for a booth, so they have to make the money back and then some. They're trying to tone down inventory so that way they could buy before the end of the year as something of a kind of a tax write-off. All right. So they are heavily incentivized to give you a great deal on some of these coins. And don't be afraid to negotiate, folks. You're going to get your best deals when you bundle them together. So you don't just buy one coin. Maybe you're going to buy 10 coins, 20 coins, 30, 40 coins, and it could be graded. They could be raw. They could be all the coins from a bargain bin. Like if you bought 50 coins from a bargain bin that are all $1 a piece, you mean to tell me that they're not going to give you like $10 off on that? They do it all the time, and especially if you pay in cash, cash is king. They're going to have that ability to give you a discount. And then you could take some of those coins that, wow, I haven't seen these online. I haven't seen them out there. There's a lot of funky tokens and stuff like that come out of these bargain bins that I turn around and flip for like $5, $10, $15, $25. I found Civil War tokens in these bargain bins. I found Good For tokens and things like that, And if you find that honey hole of these things, and there's always going to be that one coin shop owner at a show that has like an overabundance of this type of stuff, you could really clean house because, again, sure, the tokens and all that stuff may not sell as robust as, say, Lincoln Cents, because Lincoln Cents are just like a whole bigger audience in general in terms of the collectability of the things. But tokens, when you realize that you have this platform where there's millions of people traveling through it all day long, eBay, then you can put these things on there, set a reasonable price, and just get rid of them. And then you've made like $10 on this one. You made $5 on this one. You made $20 on this one. And it adds up really quickly. So that's, again, another option for you. Another big one that I love is finding rare coin albums. Those old Library of Coin branded albums, the really old ones from like the 40s and 50s. That have like the black kind of electrical tape binding to it. It's really old school. And then the gold leaf lettering on top of that. There are coin shops. There are bookstores, like these old bookstores, not old bookstores, but these bookstores that sell used books. You find some of this stuff, and you turn around, and you take those albums that you paid like $1, $2, or $5 for, turn around and flip them for $20. There was even one that I forgot to pull out to show you guys. It's a Canadian typeset album. That's a blue bookshelf Whitman album that I had paid $5 for. I just sold it for $75. I believe on Saturday. I had it on eBay and just sold it, and I'm like, wow, that's a heck of a rip. But I'm telling you, if you got the coin shops, definitely use it. If you have these bookstores, there's mom and pop bookstores. All they sell is like used, reclaimed books. You can even find some old coin books price guides and auction books and things like that, that you could buy for $1 or $2 or $5 and then turn around and flip it for, 20 bucks, 30 bucks. And it's just like, it's free money out there. And people don't think about it. And if you know your other stuff with other books, then you could turn around and sell some of those too. Some of those old antique books about, collecting glass bottles or things like that. I'm telling you, there's a lot to look out for out there. If you have a smartphone, make sure you have eBay open and just go ahead and, or Amazon. For all you Amazon heads out there, there's a cool feature where you could scan the items and it'll tell you how much they sell for. So that's kind of like the e-commerce world. It's all driven this time of year when everybody's looking for those unique gifts and they're willing to pay up for them. And that's why I'm saying that this time of year truly is kind of like a treasure trove of opportunity for you guys, for me, for everybody else. Right now is a time to pounce if you need that extra money. And I would not wait any time past now. But also keep in mind, this applies all throughout the year, because there's going to be opportunities after the first of the year on something new. Like the new bank boxes of 2024 coins comes out like 2-3 weeks after the first of the year. And we all know how much those boxes sell for. They sell for like a penny box with $25 face value of nothing but brand new 2024s. I shit you not. If you find the first 2024 penny box, preferably Philadelphia, but Denver works just the same, and you post it online for like a 5-day auction when it comes out, enjoy that money, because those first boxes sell for like $500-600 right off the rip. So yeah, that's the whole thing is crazy to me. You guys know it. You guys, if you apply yourself and you put in that time and effort and really make it a treasure hunt, make it fun. Make it fun for you. Make it fun for your spouse, your girlfriend, significant other, boyfriend, whatever. Just make the treasure hunt really awesome. You could do it as low as like, if you had only like $40-50 a piece, it's like, hey, let's go to a bookstore because we have one in town here and let's just try and find stuff. Or let's go to the antique mall that we have in town and cherry pick some cool stuff. But make sure that you're doing the research on your phones. Coins are very popular right now. They're easy to sell as opposed to some kind of like niche antique stuff, little figurines, whatever. Like what was one of the things that's making so much money is anything vintage Christmas. And that also includes silver rounds. If you're able to score some generic ass silver rounds that have like Christmas scenes, or it's got like Santa Claus and it's dated 1973, you better pick those up, because while you can buy them right now for about $26 to $28 a piece, those things sell for $60 to $100 a piece because they are Christmas themed. And guess what season we're in right now? We're into Christmas freaking season right now. And they also do Halloween bars or Thanksgiving bars. Man, you got to really position yourself to really have a lot of incremental success. And you got to be clear-headed right here. Whatever problems you guys have financially, if you say, today we're going to reset and we have a goal in mind. Sure, I work my 8 to 5 today, but by golly, I have that extra spare hour or two, or during my lunch at work, I'm going to race to the bank and see if they have a BEP straps of dollars, to see if they have any just coin rolls, brand new rolls of like 2023s left over, which by the way, 2023s, those rolls are hot because of the extra V variety, or even the Edith Kanaka-Ole quarter rolls because of the clashes. Man, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity out there. And if all you need at the very minimum is $200-300, you could do that so easily right now. You guys just don't know how good you have it, especially most of you that are east of the Mississippi. Woo, wow. I mean, everything back there is easy pickings, from every aspect possible. So go ahead and try it out. If you guys have any other kind of like great ideas, because this is an open forum kind of video, go ahead and post them below. And let me know what you're doing to make some extra money this time of year. And feel free to share the wealth with everyone. Unless it's something super specific that you kind of have cornered, then I would expect you not to share that. But anyways, that's what I wanted to talk about. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. It was an awesome pleasure to talk about this with you. I really don't get the opportunity to do so, but you know, it's kind of high time that we start kind of like spreading this wealth of information to help everyone out, because obviously I don't live in Des Moines, Iowa, where people have a separate opportunity to do something if they live locally. I'm not selfish like that. So you guys have fun. Enjoy this treasure hunt. It's like treasure hunt time. This is the most exciting time of the year to do something like this. And, you know, just go ahead and do it. You do your thing and you make sure you're passionate about it, that, you know, all of your worries that you had before, you could flip the script anytime that you want. Okay. So go ahead and try it out. You guys take care. Best of luck in all your hunts. Have a great holiday season. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and everything else I'm missing. But yeah, I'm going to go do my thing and I will see you later. Peace.